All right, let's slap a number on this. What's 228 plus 1?
This is episode number 229. Thank you.
Nice. Dang it, I might have said 228.
It's all right. It's all right. Numbers are hard, she said. Yeah, it's a beautiful day here in sunny old Texas.
Yep.
We're on our way to a fan favorite, family favorite.
It's on your shirt.
Oh, look at that.
Oh, yeah.
I think that's just sweat. We played last night in a wonderful, wonderful Kima establishment. T-Bone Tom's.
Love it.
Magical. I mean, hotter than hell, but just what a night.
Yeah.
And happy birthday to Natalie in January. Happy birthday to Amanda last night. And all our friends coming out. Our friends that drove in all the way from Missouri to have dinner with T-Bone Tom's and Blaggards. What a night. So fun. And they're coming to Ireland with us too.
That's right.
So, and then Brian and Ellen Reeves came in from College Station, and they were not the furthest. Usually they're, you know, they and Emily hold Young hold the title for
Driving.
Yeah, for distance.
Yeah.
You know, in between, you know, San Antonio to Houston for a show. Hats off.
We need to make them like a patch.
Not this side. Yeah.
Make a patch.
Yeah.
It's like,
Yeah, like a Girl Scout.
yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
I don't know if we've said this before, but I'm going to say it right now. If you have not visited Blaggards.com, you should. We have added a ton of dates.
There's more coming.
They're still coming. They're still coming in. We're getting verification, clarification, pornification. Oh, that's not a word. We're getting a lot of stuff added, and I'm just so excited about it. So
Yeah.
oh, Bitterroot Celtic Festival at Highland Games in August. Yeah, looking forward to that. We just added, thanks to Turbolicious here in the back. It is
Turbolicious.
My Fallout Boy shirt.
Yeah, Fallout Boy. He
I went to Fallout Boy. We went to see Fallout Boy, and there was a band called Rats that opened. There were a bunch of bands that played, but I'd never heard them before. I don't know if anybody's heard them, but kind of a grungy emo band.
what's the closest?
I mean, they did some Nirvana covers, so you know that I could throw that in there. But she kind of had like a Courtney Love style, but they were good. I bought a hoodie. I loved it. So I was like, man, it's kind of my new favorite band right now. But but when we were at the show, it was in between one of the bands playing. There are people in front of us. You know, you kind of just talk to everybody that's around you, or I don't know, I do. But the lady was there with their daughters, and that was their first concert. So she's like, "Oh, we're getting into music," and kind of talking about all these things. And I was like, "Oh, you know, I drum in Blaggards." And the lady's like, "Wait, what?" And she's like telling me, she pulls up the phone. She's like, "This band right here," and I go, "Yeah." And she's like, "My husband loves this band, listens to them all the time." And she's going off. And so I'm like, I drum for them. And she's like, "No." And then she gets online, like on the website, and looks it up, and she's like, "That's you." And I'm like, "I just told you that." I was like, she's like, so anyway, she's like, "Can we take your picture?" And I was like, "Yeah." And so it was
Shirt
fun.
on or off?
On. Yeah. Stacy was there, so I left.
Oh yeah.
Just kidding. But
Good move.
I'm just kidding. But it was it was super cool. And so then we just became instant friends, and that was a good time. But the show was good. It was crazy hot. Man, I'm like, why are we doing outside June shows? And then we play them ourselves, and that's why we do them. But it is what it is.
I don't mind playing them, but I'm not going to watch a show in that heat.
Yeah.
You know, I'm not going to. Let me rephrase that. I'll go see a local band in that heat outside. I will not go to Cynthia Woods.
Yeah, that's where it was. The
I
show
know.
says
That's what I'm saying.
It's brutal out there. I saw the Who there in the middle of August, I think, like 25 years ago. Whatever, I think it was 2001, when John and Joseph was still alive. That was a fantastic show, but it was torture sitting out there.
Yeah, I went to see. I took the kids to see Black Sabbath, Motorhead, Slayer out there, and I want to say that was the last time Lemmy came through before he died.
Wow.
Every time I've been to Cynthia Woods, I've taken pictures with people because they'll go Blaggards, and I take pictures, and
That's so cool.
When you're saying that, it is a great great feeling, but it was easy. It meant a little bit more to me being at a Slayer show, and that's what it was. I'm getting too mixed up because at Black Sabbath, that wasn't a Black Sabbath show. That was them with just an opening act. And I took pictures with some Hispanic guys there that night, and they were just big Blackguard fans. That was cool. But at the Slayer show, it was cool because it was a whole bunch of people with our shirts on.
Oh, dude.
And they saw me and they're going, "Oh my God!" I saw their shirts. I'm like, I'm at a Slayer concert, and we got Blackguard shirts here. That's
fucking awesome, dude.
Yeah.
So rewarding having somebody, compliment you.
She's
like
texting her husband, I'm sitting right in front of him, and he's, I'm kind of looking over her shoulder. I can see her phone, and he's like, "Oh my God," and he's just freaking out. I was just like, I was like, this is fucking cool, dude.
So the other night at T-Bone Tom's, that whole family that came out, they're all from Centerville, just north of Houston.
Yeah.
They put on some miles to come and see us.
Yeah.
That was impressive. But all those kids, all their phones had us on their screensaver, whatever it is, but they all have our Pandora, Spotify stations. That incidentally, last week the numbers for Spotify came out, and Spotify alone had over 124,000 Blackguard plays on there, and we're so grateful for you, for tuning in to our weekly SlapperCast. Oh, and we get we're so grateful for that, but also to all the people that listen to it on Spotify and Pandora. People bitch all the time about the plays and because it's the money versus the plays thing is really, really, really out. Mm-hmm. It's disproportionate to how it should be, but we are still so grateful to the amount of people that listen to it and that put us on there, and tell people about it. We can't thank you enough. It means so much, and it's we're constantly rehearsing and improving and trying to get a better product out there. And we just before we switched the camera on, we're talking about our next move and our next recording session.
We have a special guest this week.
Yes, we do.
Introduced.
Yes, we do.
Her name is
Heidi Pittman.
Yeah.
She is from Calgary. That's in Canada, boys and girls. Canada. What part of Tennessee is that? Yeah, so I met Heidi online. Apparently she likes pina coladas and getting caught in the rain. Yeah, Heidi and I became fast friends as her last band, they were called the Nova Scotiables. Good name. She played fiddle with them and sang. And now she's playing in a band. They reformed, did a shuffle, and they reformed as Peach Panic. And I went on and listened to some of their new stuff. And it is sharp. But anyway, we're going to have the whole band on is what I'm trying to say. We brought her on because she's a pistol. She's a firecracker. She's just a wonderful talent. And she's so in their previous band, they were all big Blaggard fans, speaking of that. So the Nova Scotiables had heard about us, and a mutual friend of Heidi's and mine had introduced me to Heidi. And so now we know, now we're all friends. But if you like great harmonies and good songwriting and great delivery, check out Peach Panic out of Calgary, Canada. Yeah. So anyway, so all that said, it's always a joy when somebody appreciates your work and then you find out that they're in a band that you really like, versus not. First thing, it being a one-sided thing, you can't tell.
Versus not.
Yeah. I almost say, but it's just. Here we are. Heidi, have you ever met Chad before?
Not other than in a moving vehicle, saying hello.
She is not drunk, Chad. What is wrong with you? She is not. She couldn't have done that 4 times. No way.
That's
all right.
Welcome. Good
$5.
Yeah. Ladies and gentlemen, all the way from Calgary in sunny Canada, our good friend, our wonderful friend, our talented friend, Miss Heidi Pittman. Heidi, welcome.
Thank you. I feel so welcome. Glad to be here.
Yeah. Now, for the geographical buffs like myself, what part of Kentucky is Calgary in?
Right. So north of Montana, there is some land, some undisclosed land known as Canada. And so we're in Calgary. We're about, 5 hours from the border? North?
Okay.
Okay.
So here's the weather today.
Can you give us? Look
Here's
at that. That's
panel.
downtown Calgary,
Wow.
everybody.
It was raining, like I heard it was in Houston earlier today, but now we get a lot of these bright sunny skies. It's one of the brightest places in Canada, so
Did
it's
not
good
know
for
that.
depression. Yeah.
Did not know that. Now, so I thought Canada was all just like fucking trees and moose and
right.
no buildings
these aren't
whatsoever.
certainly not trees and moose. This is a tree.
That's
but,
a tree. Okay. Okay. Can you smoke that? I heard that you guys are all drug addicts up there.
Not quite. I don't think they'd allow that in the office, but
Okay. Fair enough. Chad, put a marker on that. We don't want to get her fired. I don't want to spread any rumors, but you work for the government, right? No, I'm just kidding. What do you do up there? What do you do up there?
Not even go there. During the day, obviously I'm a musician and that's what I do. But to support that habit, I work as a recruiter during the day.
Okay. Now we're not going to spend any time on that because that's fucking boring. But I just want to say, that I'm a huge Peach Panic fan. Just Woo-hoo. Discovered. So we'll go back a minute. Heidi Pittman, myself, we met online, correct?
We did.
I just want to make sure.
Through a mutual friend, but online. That's right. Yeah. Can I tell how this went down for me? So I joined, my last band was called the Nova Scotiables, and we were a Celtic rock band, not as cool as Blaggards, but so when I joined, everyone was obsessed with Blaggards, and we covered like Big Strong Man, and your version was the version. And so I always knew. And then it so happened that one of my best friends happened to be friends with you. And through a FaceTime one day, we met online.
That's exactly how I didn't know that you guys actually liked Blaggards. I thought that you guys lost a bet and you had to listen to the whole record.
No, we actually liked them. God forbid. So that says a lot about us, doesn't it? Yeah.
Yeah, it really is. But and I did like the Nova Scotiables. I'm not going to say I'm not going to say who killed who and why there's no more band, but I will. I went online, and I beg anybody listening here today. I beg anybody to just go on, do yourselves a favor. This is not Celtic rock. This is not pop music. This is not bluegrass. This is not country. This is not rock and roll. This is not. But this touches on every one of those aforementioned. I mean, just. It is superbly crafted songs. I think the vocals are second. The vocals made the hair on my arm stand up. And
thank you.
Back of my neck. Yeah, superb stuff. So Peach Panic, like Blaggards, it's not the Peach Panic. It's just Peach Panic.
Just Peach Panic, right?
Yeah. And so where'd the name come from?
Oh my gosh. Well, so when the last band, disbanded, we'll say, we said, okay, well, what are we going to do? And then we decided, okay, we're going to continue making music together. Yeah. So anyway, we have a rehearsal space. It's a garage. And so on the wall, there was a white wall. We're like, what are we going to call ourselves? A band name. It's got to be good. It's going to be all over your marketing. You're going to be saying it, whatever. So we started brainstorming on this wall with some permanent black markers. And to this day, that wall is covered in our brainstorming. And we had all the bubbles drawn, and Peach Panic had come up maybe 3 weeks earlier in our brainstorming, but we were kind of too scattered, couldn't see the forest for the trees. So, after going down a whole bunch of rabbit holes, we looked at it one day. And I think it was our drummer maybe who said, what about Peach Panic? And so we thought about that, and we thought, well, what does that mean? It has to mean something. It can't just be a name off a wall. So it was, the peach side of it, a lot of our songs are happy. We kind of write happy sounding songs about depressing topics. And, we're all, I hate to say it, but we're millennials. So there's a lot of panic and everybody has anxiety issues. And so it kind of fit with a lot of the writing, and we decided to roll with it. And it sounds kind of cool. Peach Panic.
I like it. I really do. I love it because it's not, it's not the black shadows or the pink pussy. It's just there's nothing. It didn't conjure up any other band names to me, which left the whole, to me, which leaves the whole genre or genres. It just leaves everything wide open. Yeah. In my,
Well, let me tell you, there's some names on that band wall that I'd like to show you. I think there's a little brief posting on Instagram somewhere, but we still laugh about some of the names that came out of that brainstorming. So
I've been known to come up with some terrible names.
That's going.
So you understand completely.
We used to have before we set on Blaggards, we had a pages long list of the silliest names you can think of.
Yeah, we still have a document, and we collect band names and add it to the document.
Well, that's good.
Sometimes it makes for a laugh when you're traveling.
Yeah, and you had a show last night, right? An unannounced show last night.
So last night, I'm at work during the day, and I'm in a meeting. I see the phone go off, and what do you know? You call the bass player back. Like, what does this bass player want? And who's brilliant, wonderful person, by the way. And
no such thing.
It turns out the band that was supposed to play in Red Deer, Alberta, which for those of you down there who don't know, is about an hour and a half north of us. It's a city, smaller city, and they needed someone to play. So what did we do? We were supposed to have a rehearsal. We packed up all our gear and we went and played a show, and it was great.
Wow.
Little place called the Velvet Olive. Shout out to them. They were fantastic too. Velvet Olive in Red Deer, Alberta, Canada.
Nice. Do they have their own sound, or do you have to bring sound?
They had PA, all of that. We, of course, have our own setup and our own like X32 in-ears and all that we like to do. So we brought that. But yeah, they had full PA setup, so it wasn't too bad of a load in.
Good. How was the turnout?
Good. Yeah. So turnout it's a small space, right? We had probably around 50 people that came out through the night, and that was great for an impromptu show. Nobody knows our name yet in that city. It so happened that there was a band, we played it at 1082, who's going to be touring through the U.S. this summer in August. They had played with us. We shared a bill at a little festival in Calgary about a month earlier. And so they saw our post. They brought a bunch of people out, which was great. And away we went. We had a show of people who wanted to hear our originals. And that's what we're after. And it's great vibes and great show.
Nice. So nothing but originals last night. All original, no covers.
Nothing but originals. Not even one person begging us to play "Sweet Caroline."
Nice.
Oh. Yeah.
Would you like me to play it for you now?
Can you play Wonderwall for me?
I actually can, and I can play it in the wrong key with the wrong chord progressions and the wrong words at the same time. So you're welcome.
That's a talent.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is. So Peach Panic, so you obviously have your Facebook and your Instagram and your website. Is it just peachpanic.com or? Yeah,
www.peachpanic.com. We're going to have a single coming out in August, our first single, which has taken us forever to record, but it's also been a project of learning for us. So we've kind of taken the time to really go through, again, because most of us were in the last band together. So we wanted to kind of assess each part of the recording process, who we're working with, because we go into the studio for drums. We do a lot of the rest of the stuff on our own. So
beautiful. That's
and wanted to do it right.
We didn't even mention too, which I blame Chad for. But you play fiddle and keyboards.
Yeah,
what
and
else?
vocals.
And vocals.
Fiddle, keyboards, and vocals, and the tambourine. I play second tambourine.
Whoa. See, only a real tambourine player would call it a tambo.
That's right.
Wow.
We always make the joke that our drummer was featured in Tambo magazine last year on the cover. Stage jokes, right?
Tambo sounds like a cross-dressing, like bodybuilding magazine or something.
You know what? That's what it is now. I'm going to steal that.
Okay. Or body unbuilding. I don't know, but yeah, I love it. Tambo. I'm going to work on that. I'm going to work on that today.
Tambo magazine.
So Heidi Pittman, born and raised in Calgary, or where are you from originally?
Not far. 2 hours south is Lethbridge, Alberta. So as you know, Calgary is very similar to Houston. We have our stampede here. It's because there's a lot of farming communities all around Alberta where we're at, right? Farming and ranching, of course, horses, cattle, all that. So I'm 2 hours south, in a smaller city of about 100,000. Great music program there. I grew up from when I was 3 years old, taking music at the university, through the conservatory, all that. But obviously fell in love with Celtic fiddle, as one does. And so, I count myself as lucky that I had the background to kind of do what I wanted with it later. And then you get old enough that you can I never understood it until I was old enough to go and play in a pub and play at jams. And oh, that's what this is all about. So, definitely fell in love even more with Celtic music. And in Canada, we have kind of that offshoot of that, which is our maritime music, like our East Coast fiddling. And it's a little bit more like Cajun, still with that Celtic influence. So there was always that in there. And we have a few very famous and talented fiddlers that have come out of Canada on the East Coast. So I just had them to look up to as a kid. And young adult really is when I started to run off with that stuff. So it's kind of some of the history.
Yeah. Cool. Okay. So I'm going to ask you a couple of just off the wall questions because I'm just high as a kite. And
because you would.
I know. But before I ask you this too, I want to say too, I watched some of the last band's videos. Very good, great performance, great energy. You got great stage presence. The band did as well.
Yeah, thank you.
But I always admire bands that don't force it. And you're probably too young to remember a band from the Stone Age called Poison. But they used to do these things.
I know.
But all their videos looked like they were choreographed by a monkey with Tourette's or something. just and the color scheme was picked by somebody that was vomiting, after a night of, exotic fruit eating, in a land far away. But you guys knew exactly what you knew exactly what the moment called for on saying, meaning your band, and I know that Peach Panic is going to be beyond this because the music is so much better. Not knocking the last lineup. Just Peach Panic.
A couple more years of work under our belt, right? So.
Yeah, I mean,
I appreciate that. Thank you.
Yeah, it's true, and it was shocking to me. I was a little pissed off actually. I was listening to it, like, God damn it. Anyway, so I'm going to ask you a couple of rapid fire questions here, and just you don't have to be honest because it's this is what we do down here. But so today, whatever it is, whatever day it's today, Tuesday. Today is Tuesday. If you don't think about it, just go with it up in Calgary.
All right.
If somebody in Peach Panic right now was to commit murder, and can be yourself, all right. If somebody was going to murder, and you found out tomorrow, Wednesday, who would it be?
Me.
Okay.
It would definitely. Like, you mean who would be committing the murder? It would be me. Yeah, definitely
be you. And do you think it would be somebody that you would? You think it would be like a spur of the moment thing? Somebody just pissed you off at that moment, and you killed it, or is it something you think you might plan it?
No, it would be planned.
Okay, good. Okay, premeditated. Love it.
We can't go. We have to delete this video after because I need to kind of remain under plausible liability. My lawyer's not going to like that answer.
I love it. Okay, and then the other question is, if you could rule the world, if you just handed the keys to the kingdom right now, and you could change anything in the world right now, what would it be? Heavy questions.
Yeah, you know what it would be? It would be, and this is going to be because I talk about this all day at work, but it would be compensation for musicians so that more talented people can get out there and play and perform and get their music out there and not have to work a million odd jobs. I'm not saying that you don't get great writing content from those odd jobs and it teaches you skills and it makes you go through those life experiences that really make you write and become a great artist. But I think it's especially hard now to do both music or art of any matter. And the world can use more music and art and more budget to create things, and there's less funding from government and, art foundations and all that. So, and it's also all the funding that is there goes so much to the larger record labels. And there's so many talented people that, they don't get enough. So that's what I would change is that structure. I know there's like world hunger and better answers I could give, but that's my selfish answer.
No, there's not.
Hilarious.
There's no wrong answer. That's not selfish. I mean, again, that's I always find that musicians are the first to put to they don't call the corporations, when it's time to help, this and that charity and stuff like that. They call musicians. They want fucking entertainment, and the musicians go out and play it for free, and they don't bitch about it. They don't fucking do it. So no, there's there's nothing wrong with that. That's not a Chad. Same question. You're given the keys to the world right now. You get to rule the world. What would you change?
Well, this would require a little bit of
doesn't matter. You can do it.
A little bit of magic or something, but I would want to snap my fingers and solve the energy crisis, which was one of my dad's. That was what he wanted to do, and he believed that would all the other problems, like the 10. He had a list of like the 10 major problems in the world, and he believed that if we could solve the energy crisis, meaning we get cheap renewable energy, global, that everybody can afford, even on all the third world countries and impoverished areas and stuff like that. A lot of these other problems would gradually be taken care of because we'd have the resources to do so. The water, poverty, war, all this stuff would be hopefully become a thing of the past. That's what I would want to do that first before anything else. So it'd make everything else a lot easier.
That would solve our music problem, I think.
Guaranteed.
So,
more resources, more time.
More time, yeah.
And less expensive resources. So, our bills aren't as high. We can spend more time writing music and don't have to have a full-time job with a full-time job on top of that.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
So, Peach Panic, what is the biggest name in music that you could open for and fit in the slot?
It's hard to say. There's a lot of Canadian bands that I think would be like an easier fit. Names like, I don't know if you know any of these, but the Glorious Sons, the Arkells, they're big now in Canada. Like Arkells is probably the biggest band in Canada right now. Indie rock. And they're great. I love them. So these are bigger names now. Would we be invited on that tour right now? I don't know that we have the agency or the representation to be considered. We're also just kind of developing our tunes, getting them out on Spotify and Apple Music. So I think that might be like a year out. But in terms of skill and where our stage show is at, that's what we'd be looking at. But there's smaller ones too. Many that are kind of, I'd say, like a tier below that are perfectly plausible to open for. And, it's funny because we can go either way. We can kind of go the rock route and open for rock bands, or we could go more the folk route. There's a band called Dorina Harvey Band that we've shared a bill with many times. They're great friends of ours. She's an excellent East Coast artist out of Edmonton, Alberta. And their fiddle player, Jess Blennis, used to be our fiddle player in the Nova Scotia Bulls before she became big and famous. So we have a lot of close connections, and they're like, that's more of a folk rock band, and we could open for someone like them. They do more theater shows, or we could go more the rock route and open for more of a rock show. So,
well, I could see you guys. I could see opening for a Springsteen or a U2, or I really could, just because it's vocally. I think it's just the harmonies, like I say, are just outstanding. The stage presence is great. From what I've seen on the videos, it just looks like you guys really got your shit together. The question I'd like to ask now is one, we may have to edit this, but the question I'd like to ask is, if we were to ask, you and the whole band to come back the next time and do this, would you guys be interested in doing an episode with us again?
Oh, I think so, for sure. It's fun to do, a whole band on the cast, and then people can talk about their different things. That I don't like to answer on behalf of other people all the time either, right? So yeah, I think for sure.
Because I'd like to do this again and get the whole band in here and just kind of see if we can throw something. But I'd also love to see people watching this go check you guys out and let us know what you think, because it would be a really fun just experience, like have you guys in the studio, have us in the studio, and just be able to kind of go back and forth. But because
and likewise here too, right? Because then we can kind of get the name out. I know a lot of people that know Blaggards, but there's not enough. And maybe that would be, get you guys up to Canada.
Yes,
see that
please.
it's not just all trees and bears.
Yeah. So
see for yourselves.
Yeah. Well, it's I honestly, before I moved to Texas, I honestly thought that it was going to be just desert, cactus, hillbillies, nothing. Let's knock this one on the head, but let's get a Pinky Peach
Bandcast.
Promise. Yeah. Let's get a thing together. We'll do this again with the crew.
That would be awesome.
And you have a podcast too, don't you? You just started a podcast, didn't you?
I did. We're recording actually I should say re-recording our first episode this weekend. So there's the update. I was telling Patty that we recorded and something went wrong with my old computer and it looked like it was recording, but it wasn't. So we've got to figure it out. We're going to actually do it. It's called Shut Up. So more on that to follow.
I like it.
What's the podcast about? What's the focus?
It's a lifestyle cast. I think in the beginning, of course, it's going to be talking about music. That's what I do. So of course, but we'll talk about mental health. We'll talk about failures. That's kind of a thing I want to focus on. Everyone's always success, but how do you get there? Well, you have to fail. So talk about some failures, some comedy, just making fun of everything. I enjoy that. So get some friends on there that I think are pretty funny. And you know what? I'm going to fail a bunch of times until I figure out how it's done right, like you guys. So
love it. I love it.
That's wonderful.
Yeah, we just, we love having you on. I can't wait to get up there and share a stage, for God's sake. That's gonna be a blast.
Oh my God, I know. I want to make that happen so bad. So I think we're getting close. Good. All right. I want to give a shout out to the other Heidi.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sure. I can't wait for everybody to meet. We've got a lineup that we're just so proud of them. You don't, you're not worried about potty trained or too much, too little, so it's,
go out there and have fun.
Yeah. Well, let's do it. ASAP.
Hey, awesome. A bandcast.
Heidi Pittman, Peach Panic. You are the best. Thank you very much. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you guys very much, Chad Devlin. Thank you.
Hello. SlapperCast. Where were we when we left off? We were talking about
chicks.
What?
Chicks. No.
Frisky, Mr. Friskers. Okay, well, we were talking about church, but if you want to go right to the chick, that's fine. Whatever floats your boat there, Mr. Satan. Man, what a night. Yeah. There's a place in Brenham called Home Sweet Farm. They have a beer garden in the back. It's probably one of the greatest on the planet. Well, tonight showed us why in great detail why it's a favorite place to play. Good God.
Yeah.
I mean, I think it's the proximity to O'Bannon's. I think the two of them being so close to each other, you can't fuck up. It's just, that's all there is to it. It's just, the only Miss Kate Scott, she drove all the way down from Fort Worth to hang out with us. We're thrilled to have her.
Yeah.
Larry and Greg and Sharon came out, and we had, just a blast. It was just so much fun. Bunch of people. But Cameron, and a funny thing happened on the way to the proctologist. No, that's different. So you've probably seen them here before. If not, this is your first time seeing them. We're going to Ireland in October, and we have made these actual postcards that you may send or keep or throw out, whichever you like. Or they actually, Turbo tells us that you can roll them and smoke them with a little bit of that wacky tobacco. Is that what you call it? Wacky tobacco. Okay. Yeah. So I don't know anything about that. But I had mailed a few of these out to some of the favorite clubs of ours. And I'd mailed them out to just let them know, hey, we're on our way. Well, Cameron and Julia, the owners of Home Sweet Farm in Brenham, Texas, they received theirs yesterday. They said, fuck it, that's it, we're going. So they've signed up and they are coming to Ireland with us. And we're just delighted because I have to tell you this too. Cameron...
We're turning right on 30 here in a bit.
Yeah, I know where we're at. Chad's just trying to say, hey, look at me, I know where I am.
Chicks.
Cameron's not holding
Yeah.
himself.
Chicks.
Yeah, that's what they call him, Chick Smalley. So Cameron says to me, he goes, this was a few weeks back. He said, when I got married, one of the first things I told Julia, my wife, he said, of all the places on all, on all the planets and all the world, he says, I want to go to Ireland. And if we do not go to Ireland, if you, if me with you, if we don't go to Ireland, he said, you have failed me as a wife. She was out there today and she goes, did you know? Because I of course mentioned it from the stage, and she said, did you know that we were going to go? I said, no, I just talk a lot of shit. And she said, yeah. She goes, we got the postcard yesterday, said, fuck it, we're going. But wow. Cameron's going to have his birthday over there, and then right out, so he's on the 26th of October, he'll have his birthday. We'll be playing for him in Galway. Then their anniversary, their wedding anniversary, is in November the 4th. We'll be gone, so they're going to stay on. They're going to have a nice evening in Dublin. They're going to, so it's and the two of them are as fun and as wonderful and as dynamic and as just amazing as all the people in Brenham. We have, before the camera went on, we're just glowing and gloating and just glistening because of the night. Everybody is so wonderful. No TVs out there, no distractions. People come out there, they listen to music, they sit in the beer garden. I mean, the weather was gorgeous. It was hotter than hell today, and then the sun went down and it actually was bearable. Except if you're a snare drum or a guitar strings, But my goodness, what a fun night.
So we played for 3 hours, non-stop.
Yeah.
That was awesome.
In the heat, none of us had eaten.
That's right. We just before the cameras went on, we just demolished we ate our way through a gas station.
Like
so
a Tri-Mart.
Turbo said, I'm in the frozen food section, and he had nothing but burritos, so his house is gonna be lovely tomorrow. And Chad says, well, I'm a vegan, so he had nothing but battery acid and Johnson & Johnson shampoo. I, of course, went into the bathroom and had some Clorox wipes. It was lovely. But we're not
chicks.
Yeah.
Dude, it was freaking awesome. I love this place. It's one of those places when we're done playing, I don't want to leave.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, man, we'll just hang out. Like, it's so fun.
Yeah, I don't remember. I mean, we've always had good nights there, but this was, I think, just topped everything as far as the crowd response. But the fact that we just hung around talking for felt like an hour.
Yeah.
After we finished.
It was an hour. It's 2:15.
Yeah, I mean, we don't normally do that. Usually people just clear out when we're done, but they didn't leave this time. And I mean, Cameron stayed open later than he usually does.
Oh yeah.
So
they were drinking.
Left the bar open later than he said. Oh, last call.
Yeah.
And then an hour later, he said it again. Last call. I guess normally they close at 11-ish, something like that, right?
Yeah.
That's our normal closing time.
Yeah.
They didn't close at night. 11.
No, they were doing last call again when we left at half.
They did 1.
1, yeah. So they're just a magical place. It's not normal. It's not normal to have that cool. I hate that word, vibe. But this place definitely has its own.
Oh, totally.
Has its own feel to it. It's not a. It's not, and I love what Julia and Cameron have done with this place, because it's not a poster boards with Miller Lite and NASCAR, stuff on it. It's a really comfortable place for. I mean, it's picnic table. It's a real beer garden, but it's just not a Hooters or you know what I mean. It's not that. Yes, not cookie cutters. It's truly owned by people that care about their customers and their our friend from Houston, Robert Nathan Taylor, had played there the night before. We were talking also about the Mighty Orc and all these Houston players that come out there, Luba, Dvorak, all these great bands that go out there and play, and it's not a small distance from Brenham to Houston, but when you're in a rock and roll band and they treat you like that, it's a hiccup. Do this. I do the 10 times. I would drive back and forth tonight. I don't care. Love it.
Yeah, it's definitely it's an A+ place.
Yeah.
It's pretty.
Yeah.
It's pretty nice.
But you said it. You said it before we started. You said it's special.
It's special.
It's truly special. We're so grateful to them, and they said the same thing about us as we were leaving. You know, it was just a really nice chat with Cameron. But moving on, the next time we play there won't be till October, which is of course a blink of an eye. But so right before we go to Ireland, we're going to play there again. And Emily, I didn't mention Emily. Emily was there again tonight, and she got a place. But they were all raving about these little bed and breakfasts and these really cool little places, because downtown Brenham is this wonderful old Americana. It's a real old, it's an old American town, beautifully laid out and very clean, very nice, and the buildings are nice and all that. But everybody was raving on how nice it was downtown. Yeah. So great place to go and shop and do all your things. So October 7th, we're going to be there, and we're doing we're going to do our own little pirate show, and that's going to be one that you want to come out for.
Yeah, dude.
Just mark your calendars.
October 7th.
I think it's 7th.
October.
Yeah. Anyway, so moving on. Let's kill. Who's going to kill something?
I'll go first.
All right. Do it.
I'm going to kill a song that someone tried to request tonight. Ooh. I actually like the song, but I'm going to kill it anyway, because it's always one of those songs where the Irish band gets up, people want to request it, and shipping up to Boston. So
it's been killed, but it wasn't.
You killed it?
But it wasn't killed when you were there. So kill again.
Okay. She didn't even know the title, so I was watching her fumble through it, and I was
looking
at
the phone.
Yes, and I'm like, "Oh, dude, come on!" I was like, "You know what? I'm gonna kill that song." So
yeah,
but typical turbo kill. I'm gonna put the pillow over it and just hold it tight.
All right. So what don't you do? I mean, you do like the song, though.
I do like the song.
You just don't want to hear.
It's always the one that's always brought up. I know, and it's like,
yeah.
I think it's because the one that they know the name of it. I'm like, I don't know if they know any other names. Like,
well, we were talking about this before the cameras went on again tonight. But the people that request songs, this is what I don't understand. I've never done this in my entire days. I've never gone up to a band and said, "Hey, can you play?" Think. You know, I've never gone up there to throw a wrench in their set. They don't. That's not what they think that they're doing. What they think that they're doing is they're putting their stamp on the night. But they haven't thought about it, so they walk to the front of the stage and they go, "Hey, can you play blank by blank now?" And you go, "Well, it's not what we do." They go, "Oh, let's just play it anyway." Well, music is not picking an item off the shelf in a shop somewhere. Music is not, and if you can hear that, and it was funny the other night at T-Bone Tom's, spectacular club. I mean, spectacular restaurant, spectacular. What a night! Just so much love for that room. Jeff and all the crew there. Good God, what a. Anyway, we were loading out. And there was a piano guy doing very good piano
he was
guy. Good player, good voice. But, and my only complaint is, sorry, I'm going to go right back to your thing, but my only complaint is everything you hear is canned, and it sounds like, meaning everything is rehearsed. Every line in every song and every response and call and thing is rehearsed. And I understand that you have to do that. We would probably not fall in as many ditches if I would actually write shit down or learn it. But I cannot take a joke. I can't stand when a joke or a lyric or is put in again. I'm guilty of it. If I change a lyric in a song and it's better or funnier than what's in the song, I'll do that. But it drives me up the wall when that's your gimmick that you do every single night. That's that's baked into the. So that drives me up the wall. Anyway, so sorry. Yeah. Tangent.
I like that song. I like that band. I think I've resurrected one of their songs, or I've talked about them, but I'm just like, oh my God. It was about as cliche of a song request as you can get. Yeah,
good. Well,
so I just
shine a light.
Quick question before I shine a light. Who does the original Irish Ways?
Us. No, it's Ron Kavana.
He's the original?
He wrote it, yeah. Oh, yeah.
That's his song?
That's his song.
I'm gonna shine a light on that song. It's one of the songs that I think when we play, I become like into the audience when we play it. I just like listening to it.
Oh.
I love it. I think it's got I just like that song. So if people haven't heard that song, they should check it out.
Ron Kavana, and the album that you want to listen to. I don't know many versions out there, but there's an album called Alas, Ron Kavana, and that album is very good. There's a couple of really terrible songs on it, and I mean, it just seems like he wrote them pretty. To me, it seems like he wrote them pretty fast to get that record done. But there's also masterpieces on it. So, and I think he's a great singer. I think he's an amazing storyteller.
Man, I love that last verse where it kind of builds up.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, dude.
Yeah, I changed those words tonight too. He wouldn't be happy. But that's a good. Chad, you want to kill?
Yeah.
Come on, kill.
You mentioned the piano guy who was playing across the way from us.
Yeah.
At T-Bones. He almost everything he played was killable. But you said one of the ones he did, and I part of me hates to do this because this is not my genre of music, so it doesn't. I mean, I don't really like any of this current stuff that's out there. But that song, work. You know what I'm talking about, Turbo?
Yeah. I think I heard him playing it.
He was playing.
Yes.
But it was like the worst. That's kind of why I'm killing it. It was like the whitest piano guy you could think playing that song. I don't like the song anyway, but it was even worse when he was doing it. I was like, God, this is atrocious. But I got the sense that everything he was doing at that point in the show was probably requests. Like the weirdest. He did 9 to 5 by which I would not kill that song, and he did it okay. But right before that was Piano Man, and I'm Proud to Be an American.
Oh yeah,
which I think somebody has killed on the show before. And I'm going to shine a light on last week as a joke, just briefly. You said, "Oh, what a night!" That the old. Do you know who does that song?
No, I don't. Yes, I do. I just can't. As soon as
September.
I love that song.
Yeah, it is a great song. I had to look it up because I was curious. Like, I like that song too. Who does that? Because I had no idea. It's Frankie Valli and the Four Seasons.
Oh, I would not have guessed that.
Well, and however, it goes deeper. Frankie does not sing it. He had a really great band at that point, and there's a video I found on YouTube of them performing it, like in the studio. And you see Frankie Valli's just sitting there smiling, and he's just singing some backups. I think he sings the bridge or something like that. The guy who actually sings lead on that is the drummer, killer vocalist named Gary Polchi or something like that. And so I looked up the album that's off of. It's like 1975 or something like that, and really great stuff. Just great, just like that song, very piano based, great, just solid band, and there's the first track on that record is called Silver Star. Jerry Polchi. He sings that one too, and it's crazy. Apparently, that was another hit that they had in '75, and it's really good, and it doesn't sound like anything you would think. Oh yeah, that's the Four Seasons. It's really great. So I would highly recommend you check that out. I haven't listened to the whole record yet, but I want to because I was just really knocked out by the musicianship on it and his vocals. That guy, Jerry Polchi, is a fantastic vocalist. And which the weird thing about Frankie Valli at that point, he wasn't singing a whole lot because his hearing was messed up at that point. He had some kind of weird condition that he actually had surgery for later in the 80s that actually restored his hearing. So I think he's still performing now, I'm not sure, but he went back to performing and singing a lot more. But it's just an interesting phase of his career where his drummer had to take over a lot of the vocals because he couldn't sing quite as well. But anyway, the album's called Who Loves You? That Oh What a Night and Silver Star are off of, so check it out.
Heck yeah.
All right.
Excellent. Well, I wasn't going to kill this one, but now I'm going to kill it. Since you went Dropkick Murphys, I was and I'm going to say something just controversial.
This is going to be awesome.
No, it's not. It's going to be terrible. There's a couple of Dropkick Murphys songs that I like. I actually like their version of Rocky Road to Dublin. Yes. I think it's a good. It was nice and original, which I love. And I also they had that song Rose Tattoo. I thought it was a really well put together song, and I just never thought I'd like any of their stuff. So I have to say that. But I do want to kill that one. They did a duet back when we were first forming Blaggards, and a young Turia Hoyseth on fiddle. She said, "Hey, we should do that song, Murphy, Murphy, Darling Dear," whatever the I think it was called Dirty Glass or something. It was. I just don't. It sounded to me like it was like, look, there's a chick over there. Let's get her to sing one, and it's a terrible. It's a just a really poorly put together. The chorus is Murphy, Murphy, darling dear, I fell for you. It's awful. So that's the one I'm going to kill. Don't know the name, don't care. Look it up if you do, but I don't. I just can't stand it. And I know it's been killed on here before, but their song "Kiss Me, My Shitface" is brutal. It's absolutely brutal. There's nothing good about it. I can't stand it. So people will ask us to play it, and I'll go, bless your heart, motherfucker. I mean, no, I just can't stand it. Anyway, so that's all that.
That's the Texas way of saying it.
Yeah. Bless your heart. I know I've been here too long. So that's that. And then shine the light on. I've been grappling with my love for Lionel Richie. I think I took the wrong turn.
So you're going to turn right on 75 in 2.5 miles.
Yeah, that's right then.
Okay.
Thank you. Thank you for that. Okay.
Chicks.
Yeah, I just I know he's on his phone going, whoa, nice. Anyway, my love for Lionel Richie is coming to a boil. It's just, all these years of listening to him in the closet, and I'm just coming out. I'm just gonna let you have it. I love Lionel Richie, but the song that just, there these songs, we've talked about it before on we've discussed on here before. Songs that bring you back in time, or put you in a song that reminds you of something that can, remind you of, and, good or bad, blah, blah. But his Sail On is just, bleep this for the thing, but it should be called Hard On. It's just such a beautiful song. It's I mean, his delivery, his vocal delivery on that, the instrumentation, there's just not a fucking thing that I would change on that damn thing. It's a beautiful, wonderful song. And so that's all I gotta say about it. And he's never had a bum band with him. He's always had top players, and vocally he just never lost it.
Yeah, that was one he did with the Commodores.
Yeah.
And side note about Lionel, last week you were trying to remember the song that Richard Marx wrote for Kenny Rogers. The song you thought, but I said you were wrong. You said, that's probably not how it sounded right. It was, you said Lady.
Yeah.
Richard Marx wrote Crazy.
Crazy.
Kenny Rogers. However, Lady, which was the year before that, I think, or before that, 1 or 2 years before that, that was Lionel. Lionel Richie wrote that.
Yeah, because I think it was, again, probably wrong, but I'm going to say it anyway. But I think Lionel Richie might have put him in touch with Richard Marx, in touch with Kenny Rogers. Oh my God! Anyway, let me ask you this. Lightning round. Everybody's fucking wrecked and destroyed and sweated out. But let me ask you anyway. Just off the top of your head, what's the best invention you've ever had on stage as a rock and roll performer?
Best invention?
What's the best thing that's ever been? Like you're playing a show and you go, man, I'm so glad I'm so glad that they made this.
Oh, I mean, simple bass drum mic. I mean, fucking boom, bro. It's a heartbeat.
Yeah,
it's so much better.
Stuart Copeland does a great history of the drums and how they're. Yeah, he does a great. Stuart Copeland has this monster. It's not a long thing, but that guy has just done his homework. Chad. Tuner.
I would say it's the in-ears at this point.
Yeah.
As frustrating as it can be,
yeah,
it still really has made our lives a lot easier, our jobs a lot easier. And they can be really good, like Kima last night. My mix was really great, and some stages warm up to it better.
Yeah.
This one did not tonight. I don't know why.
Yeah, something was off tonight. You have to, and we set up in Monster Heat, and we set up in
because it can be really good when it's good, it can be really bad.
Yeah.
It's not.
But even still, even when it's bad, when you're rehearsed, you can still get away with it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I that was my thing tonight, because we used to leave shows and we'd leave there so exhausted, just obviously mentally and physically exhausted. But when you're drained of all that sweat and that just all that energy of, you know, for performing all that, then moving all the gear and all that stuff. I've often joked about, Bruce Springsteen plays a 3-hour show, but he doesn't load his own fucking gear. We do the 3-hour show and we load our gear and we drive and we, you know, so no, I'm kidding, Bruce. Stop. He's a constant watcher. We're kidding.
Nice.
Yeah. No. You watch your mouth. Anyway, so I was thinking about that tonight, because we did the same thing last night, and we sweat probably as much as we weighed last night. I mean, it's just insane amounts. But as the, you know, I'd probably say I sing about 90% of the leads in the band, and but I'd leave there, and our monitors would never be able to carry the drum. They'd never be able to, you know, reach over the drums and the guitar amps and the bass amps and the racket of the room or the stage, you know, wherever. So you're always fighting, and your hearing's always being just completely tormented and bludgeoned to death on a nightly basis. And I was just thinking about that tonight, because I was jogging with the subs tonight on the way out to the thing. I was thinking, this is kind of inhuman, you know, for the hours that we, you know, we drove, we set up, and then the heat and the blah blah. It's kind of, why am I? Yeah. And I really put it down to that.
Yeah.
Because we're not. I was just last part of the story, but I remember one show in particular, and it was before Blaggards, and I remember leaving the show one day, and I was spitting bullets. I was so angry, and it was just one of those things where I was dehydrated, I was sore, I was tired, blah blah blah, on and on. But I realized that one of the guys that was in the band was over there, and he's doing this kind of. I couldn't fucking talk. My throat felt like it had been stapled together. I mean, it's just you know, like you know. And of course, back then I hadn't learned a lot of the techniques that I use today to kind of preserve your. So I was fucking fuming, because these guys are like, and I'm just destroyed. I can't move. So anyway, so that's what I was thinking about tonight. I was like,
back in the days when you would say, what else you got to say? You would
make something up.
Yeah. And often I would wind up singing Irish Rover at the end of the night.
Yeah.
Because your voice is just gone.
Yeah.
The other thing I would say too are just to being able to record all the tracks as we're playing them individually.
Yeah.
I just love that.
Well, it's great for, you know, for just to have, but the stuff that we learn too when we, you know, when
listen
we go,
back.
Big time.
Yeah, because you don't listen back to live shows.
No,
you play it, and it's done.
Yeah,
right. We're talking about the excitement of the venue and the crowd and all this and that, and then you can go back and re-listen, and you're like, oh, hey, that was fucking cool.
Yeah. All right, one more question, then we'll call it a night. Let's call it a SlapperCast. So, Turbo, I'm going to start with you. You are now, today, Slapper Day, number 229?
229.
You're now king of the world. You can do anything. Change, what's the first thing you change?
Like, I rule?
You can make any rule you want. What's the first thing that you change?
Fucking weed is legal.
Yeah. Wow. Coming from a guy that doesn't smoke weed.
I don't smoke weed.
Okay.
I don't smoke weed or do drugs, but weed's legal.
Yeah. Okay. I get you.
Yeah, man. People locked up for that. Deer.
Yeah. Deer.
A couple.
Everywhere. I know. Yeah. They're all on the sides. Do you guys want to hear my raccoon story?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I guess this is what we... Look at that son of a bitch. God damn. This is what we call a captive audience. You guys want to hear a story? No? Oh, get out. Oh, yeah. Tell me your story, Gio.
Sure thing, GL.
Yeah.
All hail GL.
Yeah. So, anyway, I'm driving home last night. Or would you prefer a joke? I thought of the worst joke today.
Same thing.
No.
The raccoon story's funny.
Raccoon story.
I love the raccoon story. So, children, gather around. Okay, come on, Chad, come sit on my knee like old times. No, I don't want to. I'm always get dirty. Anyway.
I don't want to keep my eyes closed.
Marker, yeah. So, anyway, long story short. So, driving through this glorious countryside and blah, blah, blah. Come up on these country roads, and I go pretty fast at night, even though we have a lot of fucking deer that I always want to, like, come out and see. So I'm coming along on this country road, and I swear to God, there was a family of raccoons. They looked like Russian dolls, you know, from biggest to smallest across the road. It's still, tiny, it's still a little small road, and I'm doing a fair clip. I'm probably doing 85. It's 55, and I always think that 5's an 8, but I was doing 85, and I come around this corner, and there's the whole fucking, and they're going the whole way, and I don't know how the fuck I avoided them, but I didn't even kill them. I had to back up to kill them. No, I'm just kidding. I didn't get close, but it was the funniest thing. The smallest one at the end, I swear to God, he turned to the side and he was like, "Thank you." It was I swear to God, and maybe it was just the exhaustion and the heat, blah blah. But it was the funniest fucking thing. I was giggling so hard. It's like, yeah.
Like a raccoon.
Yeah. I think that means.
Thank you.
Thank you. Doesn't it?
Did you say you're welcome?
No.
You didn't acknowledge it?
Yeah,
You just gave the finger back?
No. I know. I waved.
Oh.
I waved.
Fuck you,
Fuck
raccoon.
you, raccoon.
Yeah. I said. I know your mother.
Fucking raccoons. Thank you.
It was. I swear to God.
Thank you.
Now that I've said it, I go. Maybe it was. Maybe I was just hallucinating. But it looked like the last one. It was. Anyway.
Oh my God. The mom's like, don't encourage him. Like,
Yeah.
Junior,
Yeah.
come along.
Anyway. Gentle folk, ladies.
That's going to be so good.
We're so glad to have you along here on SlapperCast. Thank you for listening. Thank you for following along. Patreon, yes. We love you. And also coming up, we're going to have our message from Doc.
Yep, that'll be on the SlapperCast YouTube channel.
And it's going to be its own feature too. Yeah. So if you have friends that are thinking about coming to Ireland with us, it's just a very short, things to bring, what to do, and on and on and on. It's very informative, and then you get to stare at Doc for a few minutes. So that's worth the price of admission. No, seriously, thank you for listening, and all the clubs as well. All the clubs and all the wait staff and the bar staff and the barbacks and the cooks and the cleaners and everybody that does it, even Contour Balance. We're just so glad to have you all along.
Yes.
And all our best shit is coming now. I truly believe that we're gonna have our best stuff coming. So rest up, mi amigos.
Heck yeah. Indeed. See ya.
Cheers.
See ya. See you next week.